On March 23rd, 2020, in New Zealand, our Prime Minister told us that we were going into lockdown in 2 days.
The situation here is moving at pace, and so must we. We have always said we would act early, decisively, and go hard, and we will.
So when the news came of the virus, we thought about buying a sailboat and getting away, safety out in the sea. But it turns out New Zealand is another safe place to be.
Lockdown in New Zealand was pretty strict. They were pretty much shutting everything down. You either had to work from home or you had to close your business down. Schools were closed. Only essential workers could continue working.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. A lot of people were going to the store to get supplies, getting the toilet paper, the flour, yeast. And I remember going to the store and it was just a weird feeling. You didn't want to touch anything and you wanted to make sure that you had enough food to last, 1 or 2 weeks so you wouldn't have to go to the store again.
I feel like the vast majority of New Zealanders supported a complete lockdown. We were watching the coronavirus start to really spread throughout the world, and we were watching it, and New Zealand for the longest time seemed to be avoiding it. We would get a case here and a case there, but it was shut down pretty quick. It didn't really spread, and then all of a sudden the cases started going up and schools were still open and parents were getting nervous, and we were like, okay, when are we going to close? We're ready to close. Once Jacinda decided to close New Zealand, I feel like we all felt a sigh of relief. We're going to be okay. We're going to be in our houses. We're going to be quarantined. We're going to be okay.
So at the beginning, I was super excited about the lockdown and the opportunity to work from home. I thought we could work from the beach. I was making plans to work from the van. So I had a solar panel that was delivered the day before the lockdown, and I installed that and I said, okay, sweet, I can run a laptop and we can go to the beach. I can surf in between my meetings, and I was super excited. That first weekend before the lockdown, we did go surfing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was good. And then when we got home, a couple days later, they said travel would be restricted and specifically no surfing, which I thought was crazy. So it's been a good 40 days, 45 days without surfing. I've been getting by watching YouTube surfing footage, reliving some of my waves, but it's just not the same. So what does level 4 lockdown look like in New Zealand?
So everything is pretty much closed. The only people allowed to work out of their houses are people like doctors, or our grocery stores are open, or if you have a job that involves distribution and manufacturing of food, you can stay open as well. Everybody else has to work from home or they have to close down their businesses. Restaurants had to be closed. They could not even do takeaway. Libraries, pools, gyms, everything's closed. You're not supposed to drive around anywhere. You're supposed to stay local. You're allowed to go outside and exercise, but they prefer that you walk to wherever you're going. You can drive to an appointment, you can drive to the store, but they don't want anybody out driving around. What was really neat is that things aren't always clear from the get-go, and we had a news conference every day, and if things weren't clear, the government would clear it up the next day.
So things got kind of strange around here. Typically, the streets are pretty busy with people, but after the lockdown was announced, it was like a ghost town. There were no cars. We would go for walks and there was nobody out. But after a couple of days, it seemed like everybody was out walking, but nobody was driving. So that was really cool. A lot of people were encouraged to get out and exercise. So I feel like that's a good positive. A lot more people running. I know I started running a lot more I was doing a 5K every day, getting super fast. Cindy's been running.
When we would go out for our family walks, it was really neat to see all the teddy bears in the windows. Our kids really loved hunting them down and trying to spot as many as possible. And I feel like that brought a bit of joy and calmness to such an uncertain time. And
from the pages of a children's book to the streets of Auckland, children are hunting for teddy bears in people's window.
We expect and accept that people will go for a walk. They will take their children outside to get fresh air. They might look for teddy bears in windows, but as they pass people, keep your distance. Don't talk to others. Just stay within your bubble. And if you're in Wellington and you're walking in the local neighbourhood, you might see one in my window.
so with our kids, we were very honest and upfront with them about the virus. That they know that they're safe at home, and they know that they're not going to be going back out and getting exposed to germs unless it's safe.
Yeah, we kind of joke about it a bit. So when somebody coughs or somebody sneezes, they go into quarantine.
And I think, some people aren't all about joking about it, but I think it kind of keeps the mood light for our kids, and we don't want them to be stressed out because it is uncertain.
Are you afraid of the coronavirus? Why not?
Because we're staying home.
We're staying safe, right?
Yeah, we're staying home and staying safe. How are you feeling about the coronavirus? Are you feeling nervous? Are you feeling scared? Are you feeling fine? How do you feel about it? You feel fine about it? Why do you think you feel fine about it?
There's not too many cases in New Zealand.
So you're feeling pretty safe here? Good.
So I think the kids are loving it, staying home with Cindy here. She's doing a really good job teaching and coming up with experiments, keeping it fun.
I have loved staying home and being my children's teacher. I used to be a teacher, and then once we had our kids, I decided to be a stay-at-home mom for a while. And this has really filled my teacher and mom heart. The best part has been able to do all the science experiments and art projects, and I don't feel like they get an opportunity to do enough of those things. And I've always wanted to do those things when the kids get home from school, but we just get busy and we have activities, and then it's bedtime, and so it's just been so nice being able to just sit down and focus and have fun with the kids. So would you like to stay home and have mommy be your teacher forever, or would you like to go back to school?
Go back to school.
What? Schooling with mommy, or would you like to go back to school?
Continue schooling with mommy.
Aw, good answer, buddy.
And so we've been tracking New Zealand's cases, and our family lives in the United States, so we're tracking the United States too. And they did things a bit differently. New Zealand was very fast and very aggressive at closing the border, stopping people from coming in from other countries, and tracking the people who came in, and tracking those who had positive cases.
I feel like that's something that New Zealand has done incredibly well, is the contact tracing. I think as of, a few days ago, they knew where almost every single case originated from.
I feel safe. How about you?
I really do. Watching what's happening around the world, watching what's happening in the United States, it's really stressful. We have family in the U.S., and, I'm calling them, messaging them all the time saying, stay home, don't go shopping, order your groceries online, because I'm just so stressed that they're just going to get it from going to the grocery store. And I know they're keeping their space, wearing masks and gloves and washing their hands, and they're doing the best they can, but I just feel like it's everywhere in the U.S., and it's just stressful.
So New Zealand's done a good job of keeping everybody safe. Everybody's doing their part, wearing their masks, staying at home, and following the rules.
And I think that's such a huge piece to this. New Zealand has gone from growing exponentially to now we're only getting 0 to 2 new cases a day. And why is that? It's because the people were compliant, they listened to the government, and they followed the rules, and now we're in a position where we're almost ready to reopen the economy.
Another big difference between the United States and New Zealand is New Zealand's like one state. Everybody follows the same rules, and it's pretty simple. So the communication is easy. Everybody listens to the Prime Minister, Jacinda. She's doing a phenomenal job communicating every day with what's expected and what the rules are. And in the United States, you have the different states doing their own thing.
And then you have the president saying something else, and it's just a little confusing.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Good afternoon. Welcome everyone to day one of Alert Level 3. I want to begin by stressing that at Alert Level 3 we are not out of the woods. As I have said before, it is a recovery room of sorts to assess if the incredible work that New Zealanders have done at Level 4 to break the virus's chain of transmission and prevent further community outbreak has worked.
So we were at level 4 for about a month, and now we're at level 3, which means I can go back to work. Gives me a little break from the family. I'm only going to work one day a week, and it's like a ghost town in there. So they're doing a really good job of taking your temperature before they let you in. And most people are working from home, which is really cool. Still, I can't go to the beach and work from the beach, but maybe in level 2, that'll be an option. I'm hoping that'll be a good option for me. And hopefully we'll get back to traveling more. We've got some trip planning to do. I'm thinking a lot of New Zealand, and hopefully it'll be on a boat.
Oh, Chris. We don't know what it's going to look like for world travel yet, but we're just going to be flexible, and we're just going to enjoy time as a family.
When I found out about lockdown, I was excited and sad. Excited because I could spend more time with my mom. It was sad because I would miss all my friends. My favorite part about lockdown is spending time with my family. I really enjoyed playing baseball and Nerf battles. And we had a trap by our door that water would fall on. The person who opened the door first, it fell on Mom. We've been running almost every day.
Yeah, and Henry, what are we doing?
Running around the domain.
Yeah, running around the domain. We're going to do this multiple times, and we're going to track and see how much faster you guys get. You feeling strong today?
Yeah.
On your mark. Get set, go. Good job, good job, good job. Finish strong. Good job, Chris. You're feeding an 8-year-old. Good job, Hobie. Good job, good job, good job. What's been the worst part of lockdown?
Not seeing my friends.
What do you look forward to once the lockdown's over?
Seeing Alexa. I love having Daddy home. I love baking with Mommy. We make banana bread.
All right, everybody, take care. We wish you the best of luck. Stay healthy, stay safe, and until next time.
I hope everyone stays safe.
A bit stingy, okay? You can do this.
Stay tuned for part 2. So much has changed.